carry on, shall we? There's a few more things to pick up in here. So this is a fair bit of lore dump coming in. So this will be a lot of stuff from the past, shall we say. Joe, welcome in. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you for the newt. Oh, Izzy, you're sick with the Rona. I'm sorry to hear that. Transcript of conversation. Subject, Dylan Faden. For review by Dr. Darling. Note. Subject was alone during this outburst. Dylan Faden. You again. I thought I told you to leave me alone. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore. And I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. Fuck off, you bitch. I will dig out my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. Subject repeated the phrase fuck off numerous times before being sedated at 5:53. So, you both left me here to rot, and we know that Dylan can see and is aware of Polaris. So it seems like Polaris may have attempted to help Dylan the way that she helps us. So that is something. That is something.
Dylan has so much.
P6 victim autopsy. So remember that P6 is Dylan. Prime candidate 6. Darling also mentioned in that last video that we watched that we are considered a prime candidate, or were considered a prime candidate, obviously, once they caught up to us. Case summary. Agent killed during Redacted involving Redacted, codename P6. Autopsy findings. Blunt force injuries to the head and neck, Extensive trauma of the abdominal region. Lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso. Fracture of the spinal cord between the L1 and L2 vertebrae. Avulsion fracture of the 3rd through 10th ribs, left and right. Blunt force injuries of the extremities. Abrasions, lacerations, and contusions of the extremities. Dislocation of left and right elbow. Dislocation of left and right knee. Conclusion. After examination, it was determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when the redacted was contorted through his redacted. So that's what Dylan is capable of.
I'll take the blame.
Prior to him becoming overwhelmed by the hiss.
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see?
And now we're in the P7.
Find that projector.
And it's us! So we were prime candidate P7.
All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
Hey, look, we were shoplifting. Let's open this up first. Oh, we just got our P7 outfit, which I actually don't like, but... Jesse Faden, movement tracking. Regarding eastward movement, cause for concern. On the 24th of the 9th, departs... I'm going to mispronounce all these places. Cheyenne. Same day, arrives in Cheyenne. The next day, departs Sydney. Sorry, arrives in Sydney. The next day, departs Sydney. The next day, arrives in Des Moines. 4 days later, departs Des Moines. What's that? 2 days later, arrives in Chicago. A week later, departs Chicago. Next, same day, arrives in South Bend. 3 days later, departs South Bend. Same day, arrives in Cleveland, Ohio. 8 days later, departs Cleveland. The next day, arrives in Bloomsburg. 9 days later, departs Bloomsburg. And then the same day, arrives in New York City, which is where we are right now. So I think that is, yes, there was cause for concern.
We used to play there all the time. Me and Dylan. And other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside and That's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away. Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
Those were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe? In one form or the other?
Maybe.
When was this? Can you remember? At parties? Barbecues? How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No. That's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing. The slide projector...
Let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know. Me and Dylan.
That psychiatrist really sucks, Hedda. Like, really sucks. So, we know that other altered items have been born out of a particular action, right? The fridge, for example, was born out of the woman constantly staring at it. Or at least the part that it made it require needing to be watched. The thing that caused the deviation.
That's the place to start looking.
Sorry, she's talking. Okay. So I guess the theory here is the slide projector that took the kids to another world was born out of Jesse's desire, well, apparent desire to enter pictures and escape into another world. Because we don't actually know what happened to her parents, right? Like, we know her parents died as a result of the AWE, but, like, is it possible that they were specifically targeted because Jesse's inclination to imagine stepping into pictures and escaping into a world without her parents caused the slide projector to remove her parents? There is definitely a possibility that she's just being gaslit, Chuck, but I think there's more investigation rather than gaslighting, because they already know she was a prime candidate, right? So I don't think they were going to be hiding as much from her as, God damn it, as you know, get the gaslighting would quote unquote cause. Right there. Alright, cool. So we're just going to go right to left. Work chat. Dead dog. I see your creepy teeth delivery and raise you a dead dog. Yeah, like straight up deceased dog. Had a collar on it and everything. It'd be rotting in a box since they packed it up. Go ahead and imagine how that smelled. So don't go whining to me. I wish I got to watch a parade of human teeth. I don't think it would be beneficial for them to gaslight her. No. Because, I mean, it's... So, Jesse has no... Well, at least does not speak about being in the Bureau prior to this, right? But we know that... Well, we can assume from the episodes of Threshold Kids that we watched that perhaps she actually was in the Bureau at some point. So it's whether or not that psychiatrist was perhaps a Bureau-paid psychiatrist, or if that session may have actually happened within the Bureau itself. Willow AWE shipping manifest. Inventory list of recovered materials. So the Willow AWE is the first AWE that we discussed. That's the one that had something to do with scissors. Inventory list of recovered materials. A hollow sphere, stone-like material, vitrified soil, redacted pieces of various sizes and color, animal carcass, probably canine, rusted metal bucket, leather wallet, aged shotgun cartridge. All materials to go to the investigation sector for further analysis. I have actually heard about the dating app tailored for people with autism. I mean, hell, there's dating apps for every type of, like, you know, like whether it's a religious dating app or for people with autism or whatever it could be. There's fucking, you name it, there's a dating app for it. Like, I guarantee there'd be a dating app for people with webbed toes. Shit, I forgot about you. Should never forget about that guy. He causes me much grief in speedruns.
Dylan and I were both prime candidates.
The reviews for Hickey were not good. Is Hickey's what it's called? Fuck, that's funny. What a good name for a dating app. Slutty swimmers! Excuse me, Banj. I have webbed toes, and I am neither slutty nor a swimmer. In fact, I can't swim. At least not very confidently.
We're going back home. Of course we are. It started there, and it's never gone away.
Nothing else. I feel so disappointed when all I get is loot. I don't want loot. I want cool story beats. Just quickly check down here, just in case. Cool. We got 2 pieces of loot and story beat, or a lore beat. With my web toes, I could be a champion, you reckon? Typewritten page supplement. Oh, so typewritten page is another altered item. Altered item 83, to be precise. This is actually the first we're hearing of it. We don't have the procedures or any documentation yet. Background. The page was discovered in an instance of the... Oh, I know what this is. Okay, so the typewritten page is a piece of paper that was slid under the door in the Ocean View Motel and Casino. Under the door with the spiral painted on it. So that is how we know that it links to something to do with Alan Wake. So that is a door to the Alan Wake universe. The page was discovered in an instance of the Ocean View Motel and Casino that was linked to the investigation sector. The page has been pushed into the motel's corridor from under the door with the symbol of a spiral. Redacted. Text transcribed from the item. For 10 years I've tried to write my escape, only sinking deeper. I used to know where fiction ends and reality begins. Here they are all the same. It's a hideous trap, my every thought made real. Fear, desire. How can I ever know for sure I've escaped and not just lost it in my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive you mad. The identifiable words in the scratched out portion. Falls. Bright Falls? Haunting. Wake. Alan Wake? Light switch. Ocean. Too late. And the final sentence. You've been warned. So, we know that Alan is still awake, still alive inside the threshold. That he dove into towards the end of the game, or at the end of the game. We know he is still alive there, and now it's. I'm assuming we're going to find out more come Alan Wake 2.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel.
So the only enemy in here I can't kill is the piss ball. Which is right there. So we're going to try and avoid that for any of you with photosensitivity concerns. But I can't guarantee it. So just perhaps if you are sensitive to flashing lights, maybe just look away for the next 30 seconds or so. Just while I do a quick run around this lower level area. doesn't look like there was anything. So you are free to look back if you so wish. Now, I know there's loot in here because we get it during the speedrun. And useless, probably. I'm just used to that, that crate containing useless power-ups. Never gets me anything that'll save my time. Federal Bureau of Control. Guess who just had to inspect an inbound delivery of like 100 teensy tiny little boxes? Me, that's who. And you know what was inside each one? A single human tooth. Fucking gross. So that is obviously a prelude to the dead dog one that we just read. This room is much calmer when I kill the floating chair guys. Those belonged to the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, well, the Tooth Fairy is an altered item, so you can just deal with it. Alright, so we know that there is a stingray motherfucker at the end of this corridor. Not anymore, there ain't. Oh, that was fucking satisfying. That guy always gives me issues in the speedruns. If there's anything of importance down here. What was that painting of, though? Oh, it's just like a hole in a wall. Interesting. Perhaps I was too speedy in my assessment that there was nothing of interest down here. Interesting. Huh. Yo, energy renewal. Let's have a headshot energy renewal. Or if that's mirrored on this side. Doesn't look like it is, but we do have one of these. Okay, cool. That seems to be it. I wonder how many more just holes in walls there are that I've just totally missed. Oh, are you kidding? Nothing else. Feels so nice just being able to take this area really slow. Maybe I'll quit speedrunning this game and I'll just only play it casually from now on. Oh, whoa! Where the fuck did you come from? Got him. I know, I'm joking, Tolly. Of course I'm gonna keep speedrunning it. It's 4 AM, Wing. That is your bedtime, my gamer. Imagine getting accepted into GDQ and just being like, oh, sorry, I've quit the game. Thanks, though. Yo, Wing would like to remind everybody to please take their medication. If you have not taken your medication today, please take a moment to go and do so now. Some people's serotonin is homemade, some people's serotonin is store-bought. One is not better than the other, they simply come from different places. So if not for yourself, then for me and your friends in chat, please take a moment to go and take your medication now. I promise you'll feel better. Thank you for the reminder, Wing. And I will hydrate. And here we have Ordinary AWE, Stage 1.A, Dump, Witness Testimonies. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were a lot of dolls. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. The house was empty. No one lived there. We played in there a lot. It was our secret playhouse. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. Note, likely Neil Hosenberg, missing. It was mean. He had asthma. Tom, likely Tom Barlow, missing. And his gang, Freddie, note, likely Frederick Bartwell, missing. Hugo, note, no one by this name was found in public records, bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump to play. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Extrapolated information, unconfirmed existence of additional slide, designation, house. Response, so I slow run this now. No, absolutely not, Wing. Absolutely not a waste of money. Okay, so I do believe that Frederick Bartwell is actually an employee of the Bureau now. I'm gonna have to cross-check that, but I do believe that Frederick Bartwell is found and works for the Bureau now. Gamer, go get some good rest. We'll talk soon. Oh, yo, another episode of America Overnight. Cool.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows. Thank you for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
Hi. What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen.
If who found out, brother?
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town. And it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just, my brother lived there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere?
I'm not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Hor Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction, as predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now, I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. And good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight will be right back.
Okay, so we know America Overnight was used as a anonymous, if you will, tipping of for possible altered world events. Obviously, the call was about an actual altered world event that they were looking to keep secret, which I think is why he discredited it as much as he could. And here we've got a summary of the ordinary altered world event. Whoa, we're getting a lot of juicy bits here. An AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary, caused by an object of power, slide projector, ID OOP-15, discovered by local children at the dump outside of town. When a specific set of slides are used in the projector, the projected images open doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. Event response. On August 30, 2002, siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, see P6 materials, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, see P7 material, were playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector. See Object of Power 15, Case File, and Darling Presentation, redacted, for details. A team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14. The AWE had ended, but the team found the Faden children, who led them to the slide projector and the slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. See interviews, redacted, and prime candidate program files, redacted. So, according to this, Dylan and Jesse are separate ages, so perhaps that does not give, or that takes away, quote-unquote, evidence that they may have been at one point the same person. And we've got another multimedia here.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
Interesting.
There is a curious correlation.
Yeah, you do have to be online to give shout-outs, Tully. I found that out the hard way the other day. Well, the other day. A while ago now. Ordinary. AWE Stage 4.A. Jesse and me followed the dung monkeys to the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from town had joined up. It was really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector, and we ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. They were just about to get us, but then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog, like a melted dog, but I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being the dog. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard her immediately. She promised to help. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. Jesse said we should call her Polaris because she was doing stars at school. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Extrapolated information. Additional slide designation hand, SID 36 is verified and in bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity designation Dog Neil, EID-19930. Dog Neil. Did some Hunger Games style shit. Alright, nothing else we need to pick up here. Alright. Ordinary AWE, Stage 2. After what happened at school to Mrs. Chester, we started spying on Tom and we saw where they took the projector. Dylan Faden, interview, 2002. Tom and his troglodytes were using the Sled Hill Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. They'd been using the temple slide. We called it that, but it really was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bomb shelter, or something very dark. The Not Mother lived there with her babies. Children, I don't know. She was feeding Tom and the others her milk. They were changing into little monsters. We called them dung monkeys. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide, designation temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity, designation Not Mother, EID-19928. So they had the slide projector taken from them by a bunch of bullies by the sounds of it.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then.
In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he? He never visits, not since Roberts. Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
Mm-hmm. What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
Oh, shit. So Roberts was the bureau agent that Darling talked about that Dylan killed. And it seems as though he may have just killed Dr. Vaughn as well. Which we've experienced Dr. Vaughn a number of times through different documents. Who's that? Trench and somebody else.